Hi everybody, welcome back. I've got a Bronte journal. It's about the three Bronte sisters, Charlotte, Emily, and Anne. And this is a special journal, it's a custom order for Shireen. And I really think, Shireen, you are my muse. This book is so thick, but I felt like the things that you sent me, there was a lot of important information and things in there that needed to really be in this book. So if you want me to put a closure here for you, I can do that. That's no problem. You know, where you could tie it in a bow, I do it to match the ribbon here. You just let me know if that's something that you would like. This is a 5x7 journal. That's the spine, and that's the back, and that's my dog. But as you can see, look, Shireen, I got carried away. You inspire me to really reach out there and do some different things, and I can't stop myself. But let's go inside and have a little look. Oh, well, let me explain the front cover. This is the three sisters, and this is a letter from Charlotte when she went to Rowhead School, and Emily and Anne stayed back at the parsonage. So I put that on the envelope on the cover. This represents the heather on the moors where the girls like to go for solitude, and that was one of their, if not, it was probably their special place where they went to write and just find peace and enjoy each other's company. It was a very, very special place, and Shireen wanted the color of the moors, the heather on the moors. So I had this in my stash, and I dyed it heather color, and I kind of took that theme and ran with it. So it would be throughout, since it was such a important place to them. So let's go inside. On the inside, I'm going to have to set the book down because it's a little heavy. We have a pocket here, and that is Charlotte. And it's just a little place to journal. Here is the family tree, which I felt was really important to have right in the beginning. And again, you'll see the colors all the way through that represent the heather. On the next page, this is a poem, and I don't know who wrote it. I cut it out and did this a while back, so I can't remember who wrote it. But this first signature is of all three of them, their life together. And I know they like to write in little booklets, so I added a little booklet for Shireen to write in. It's all antiqued, and I can't grab the page. There we go. It's coffee stained. She wanted sepia, black, and the heather color, so that's what I did. And a little postcard sheet to just kind of go in the back. And this is of their gun club when they were young girls. And when they went off to school, I found it really funny because I read the books that you send me, Shireen, so I get a good feel of what you like and what's important in the book. And when they all went to school, they were, all the girls were analyzed what they could do, what their future would be. And all three of them got governesses, which is not what they wanted. So I put some little pieces of paper in here about their time period when they were around. And this is, let me put the book down again. This is an envelope that's been coffee stained, and it's got some snippets of paper, which I know Shireen likes. And then this is just an old piece of paper that I've stamped on, and look, an inkwell. I don't know if that's what the girls used, but I thought it was kind of cool, so I put it in there. And here on the next page, more coffee staining, And this is just a place where she probably could write one of her favorite poems or something special to her. This is a pocket, a fan that I put together, and I made the little Bronte signs and did the purple so it would match. And these are words that I felt reminded me of the girls, what they do for people and what's important to them. And I slipped a little writing card in there. And this is the inside. It says they seldom went downwards through the village. It's hard reading upside down. They were shy of meeting even familiar. I gotta turn this around, y'all. I'm sorry. I can't read upside down. It says they seldom went downwards through the village. They were shy of meeting familiar faces and always preferred the solitude and freedom of the moors. So it was definitely a very important place to them. This is their home. And these are the three girls, Anne, Charlotte, and Emily, and a picture of the moors here. And then some of the heather. Shireen wanted an open center page for each of the girls. But I had 4 signatures, so I made a group in the beginning, the first signature for the girls. And I kept with a nature theme because of the outside, going to the outdoors. This is probably the carriage that they rode, or a carriage looked like the carriage that they rode to and from school. And in here we have just a writing card, piece of paper to write on. And I did a little stenciling here and a really pretty fan because I felt it went really nicely with the arch. This is a picture of a governess taking care of a family, which I thought was really appropriate to put in there since they were all selected for governesses. And this is another pocket here with another sheet of paper. It's been coffee stained and lightly stamped. And then this is the picture of the moors. And I put the quill here because that's where they wrote. And then I put the butterfly here to represent the freedom that they felt. And that's the end of the first signature. This is a photograph of the Bronte Parsonage Museum that they have. And the next signature is Emily, because she was, Charlotte. I'm sorry, Charlotte, because she was the oldest. I did them in order of age. So, you know, Charlotte, Shireen, you've got a nice place to write here and a little heather. And here you got some snippets of fabric. There's some little pieces of fabric that's sewn on. And some cards to write on. I know how much you like all these snippets of paper, so I added them. And then picture of Emily. Charlotte and Emily were extremely close. Another page to write on. All these has been hand painted, all these pages. I don't know if you can see this, but it's lightly stamped with leaves to represent the nature that they love so much. This is an illustration of Charlotte and her father when she was writing Jane Eyre. And there's the book cover. And another small booklet with Charlotte on the front. And the heather again. Another book cover of her poems, Charlotte's poems. And here's some more of the little doily and snippets. And some pieces of paper to write on. And that's been coffee stained. Okay. And this is a stamp of Charlotte. More writing space here. A little tag. And now this is the third signature. This is Emily. She wrote Wuthering Heights. This is a photograph of her christening mug. It was a standard gift back then. And a poem by Emily. And another booklet. Very similar to the other ones. Got all the stamping in it, and it's aged. Cover of her poems. This is Halifax. This is where she went to school, where she taught school. Y'all forgive my dog. She's on a barking spree. Excuse me. This is the open page, and here, Shireen, I left some blank spaces so you could write whatever you wanted. But it's Emily, and that's the portrait she did of her dog. They also wrote under other names because, you know, back then a woman's books didn't sell, but men's did. This is a little booklet with a poem with a phrase of a poem that she wrote on. I'll tie that back up later. Nice portrait of Emily. Again, that's the inside page to one of her books, and a stamp that they did of her with the heather. That's an illustration that she drew. And this, Shireen, is a bookmark that you can remove, and as you're working in it, you can slip it wherever you need it to be. Got some little snippets and beads on it. And the back is, oops, the back is coffee dyed. And here we are at the last signature, and it is of Anne, and she wrote Agnes Gray. B for Bronte. And here we've got an envelope, and of course it's got your goodies in there, Shireen, and a little place to write. And this is a beautiful portrait of Anne. And again, a doily here with some lace. This is the inside cover of The Tenant of Wildfell Hall. Again, nature. And here's her full page spread here with her picture and the heather. And again, you have places to write your favorite things about Anne. This was a sampler that she did when she was, what does it say, 10, I think? I can't read upside down, guys. So I put that in there, and I did rough all the edges on these inserts here. It's all nice and rough, so it's got a good feeling of texture. This is interesting. This is where Anne and Emily would write pieces in their diary or whatever, or on pieces of paper, and then every 4 years they would give each other what they wrote, which I thought was pretty cool. And there's just a blank piece of paper. This matches the front cover here. It's got the same border print. That just tucks behind there. These will take more, Shireen. You've got plenty of places to add more if there's something I missed. A real pretty arch. And the last page with a little snippet to write on. So that is it for this journal. Again, it is huge, to say the least. But I just felt like there were a lot of things that just needed to be in here. And if you do want the closure, Shireen, just shoot me a note through Etsy, and I will add something to match the bookmark that sticks out here. But it can sit open on a table if you like. But if you lay it down, it's going to do this, because it's just stuffed with goodies, you know. That I just love it. Just absolutely love the way this came out, and I hope you do too. And thank you for inspiring me and making and challenging me to do new and different things. And I hope you like it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.